So the purpose of this video is I've been asked for background is because many people when they're picking a financial advisor, they kind of want to know the background of the person they're dealing with. So let's just start and I'll tell you what my background is. I was born in a small town in western Colorado up in the mountains at an elevation of about 8,000 feet. My parents were ranchers and teachers. The town I graduated from is a very small town, 1,200 people. From the time I was a little boy, we had to work. We had about 1,500 head of sheep, 350 head of cattle. We had horses, pigs, chickens. I mean, it was a traditional Western ranch. And from the time you were a small boy, we learned the value of a work ethic. So from the time I was young, it was helping with calving, with lambing, with cutting hay, with irrigating, and as you got older, you had more responsibilities, so work was just part of it. And with that became a good work ethic because the work needed done. Cows needed fed, sheep needed fed. I milked cows, flanked calves, rode horses. Probably almost before I walked, I was riding horses, and that's how I grew up. And in school, I was involved with almost every sport that was offered, partly because I enjoyed sports and the activities, and also it got me out of work on the ranch. So again, it was football, wrestling, track, or primarily. I also played basketball. Because of where we were, we didn't have other sports. That was basically it, and we traveled all over. My dad, in addition to being a teacher, he was also my wrestling coach. And so all my brothers and I were wrestlers. We were all state champions. Wrestling's kind of in the blood. Carried that on to college, where I played college football and wrestled in college. Once I got out of college, or final semester in college, people asked me, well, what do you want to do? And I said, well, I want to work with people and want to be out, want to be active, kind of want to stay in the rural markets because I really like the people. Business was done by a handshake and trust. I still hold that near and dear to this day. You do what you say you're going to do. You treat everybody with honesty and integrity. And so anyway, I was in a class, and a gal in my class said, you got to come interview for a job that we have an opening. And it was for a small independent agency, or a small captive agency called Farm Bureau. Ironically, my dad 5 years before had started with Farm Bureau, and when she said, would you like to come interview for the job for Farm Bureau, I started laughing because I said, yeah, I know Farm Bureau. My dad works there. So followed in his footsteps, took the job interview, got hired, loved it, and 37 years later, I'm still doing insurance. And now I'm proud to say my son has followed in my footsteps, so we're third generation. I started being a captive agent, which means that you only work for one company. You sell their products. You are an employee of the company. So you do what the company tells you to do. As I got later in my career, I discovered that I could do a much better job for my clients being an independent. And because I had access to far more products, far more services, I was self-employed to work for myself, as opposed to working for a company that made me unbiased in my approach. And I like being an independent because now I represent hundreds of carriers and thousands of products, so we can truly provide you with a better product and service. So that's a little bit about me. And if you want an agent who's all about honesty and integrity and giving you unbiased information, give us a call at 877-887-3131, or check us out on the web at www.safemoneyspecialist.net.